So, yesterday we talked about, like I said, all this other kind of stuff with season 3, whatnot. They said there was more to come. They made this post Rocket League Esports 2017. First and foremost, they talk about thanking everybody. Like, I want to know who's in this picture. I can't see anybody I know because I was sitting right behind them, roughly. Because here's the commentators right here. Is that my arm? That's somebody's arm. That's one of the casters. It might be mine. It might be Carpets. Might be Shoguns. It might be somebody's arm. Puberty only lasts a few more years. Nah, dude. What happens if it happens again? Then what? But so they basically said thank you, all this other kind of stuff. Like, we love this community. Now on to why you're here. They basically announced that with partnerships and stuff, there's no better to talk about their plans. And this is something that's very, very different for a developer. Most developers don't talk future plans unless it's like a very, very broad thing. And I think that it really shows who Psyonix is and shows how much they really do pay attention to this community. We talked yesterday about how there's a lot of people, especially in the pro community, that have complained and gotten upset about how prize pool is only 300,000 and it's not enough, and what the heck, like, or we're going stagnant or something. Like, it, to me, it didn't make sense, but a lot of people were upset about stuff, and there was a lot of talk about how it wasn't enough, and Psyonix, I think, knew partially that had been a problem. Like, a lot of people have been talking about the complications that were coming with the prize pools and stuff, and people really wanted to know what crates and like the monies from keys were really going to go into, and for them to fully detail their like actual agenda, like, this is what we have on our like schedule, this is what we're budgeting things to, like, is a lot more forward than most esports, and it's pretty crazy. And it refines, like, it redefined my respect for Psyonix, because they've been taking a lot of blows lately. They have personally, I think, gone a little bit more quiet. Like, they used to be a lot more active when it came to like Reddit posts. They used to be a little bit more forward. I always love when like the Psyonix guys show up in chat, because it shows me that they're truly watching and paying attention to this community. And I know they have to be careful with like marketing and stuff, simply because there's certain things that they can't like show. Like, if they watch a certain streamer so long, it shows that the company itself may be physically endorsing and promoting that person, even though they may not be. They have to be careful about that. So there's not a lot of times that they can actually talk and communicate in chat regarding that situation. Also, what's up, dude? Yeah, so like, I get they have to be careful and stuff, but it's esports, not esports. It's either capital E or lowercase everything. But no, like, I love seeing the guys in chat, because it shows that they really care about this community, and that shows that they're paying attention to what's really happening. And I love that, and I know they have to be careful with it, but it's one of those things that the more they do that, I think they earn more and more respect from the community, and I think it's a good like PR thing. Obviously there's like something you have to be careful with the fine line on it, but seeing them be this forward about everything is huge, and for them to actually like name drop certain things shows that they've been keeping things in mind. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to fix this shit. I don't know why it's being dumb. Like, total subs isn't displaying correctly. Something's busted. I don't have subs. Rip. See? Big ol' 0. That's sad. I don't know why that's 0 at all. That's really, really weird. Damn, dude, get wrecked. A solid 0 subs. Not anyone. Dude, I don't have a single sub. All your guys' badges that I see in chat, don't lie to me. Can't fool me. Also, James, what's up, dude? Hey, PB. But yeah, so Newfound, like, I really, really enjoy that they're this forward. So they basically talk about the philosophy about how Like Rocket League itself is somewhere where everybody competes. And I think that's something that they're always going to stick to. As much as I've talked about wanting like a relegation system and stuff, I think Psyonix in some way will always try to incorporate the community and keep it grassroots, because that's, as a whole, who we are. I think they will always, no matter what, find a way to make it so everybody in this community understands that if you are truly good enough, you have a chance. And it's true. Anybody can sign up for open quals. Anybody can hit top 8. There is a possibility. So I don't think that'll ever change, and I'm kind of glad it won't. It's something that I think stays true to who Psyonix is as a developer. And it's a lot of respect coming from me for them to actually like say that. So there is a lot of articles going out in the esport community regarding crates and keys, and the way that you fund a community is usually like a big prize pool, because the prize pool itself shows advertisement and all that other kind of stuff. But Psyonix is taking a different approach, and I think it's the one reason why we're going to be around for, as everybody hopes, like a decade. A lot of people think that Rocket League is going to be the first esport that sticks around for more than 10 years. Simply for a couple reasons. One, the foundation's good. It's a fantastic game. It's a sport. There's no violence. There's no characters you have to learn. It's super easy to pick up. Like, the accessibility of Rocket League is phenomenal. And a lot of people believe because it's the most watched sport in the world, there's a chance that it can also be the biggest esport in the world. And it's going to fill out arenas and like Madison Square Gardens and all this other kind of stuff, which would be insane to have a crowd that big. And that's years down the road before we even consider that. But part of the reason why I think it's going to be able to do that is because of the foundation that Psyonix is trying to set. We talk about how we want a strong foundation and how we want this to be around, and we want to do things the right way, and that kind of like a slow and steady thing. I've been tweeting out like crazy #trust the process, because I truly believe that with the people that are involved in Twitch and on Psyonix's side, we're in the right hands for this to be something huge. And the issue is we're so very impatient because we've seen other things and we've been teased and spoiled by other communities like CSGO. We've seen stuff like, Dota and League of Legends, and they're as big as they are. We want to be there now. And it's frustrating because we have to take time in order for the foundation itself to be solidified. I mentioned yesterday, I'm pretty sure it was, that the amount of minutes watched between the first LAN and the second LAN were roughly the same. So our retention rate is very, very high, considering we had roughly 15 to 20,000 less viewers overall, which means that the people that are watching are dedicated. They don't care about certain players. They don't care about certain teams. They care about the esport. They want to watch all of it. And that's not common. Nonce. Why are people saying nonce? What? Nice coordinated nonce, boys. But like, it's weird because you see normally a different approach to it, but the way that they're creating this foundation by focusing on building it in the community and making sure that there's a solidified start, there's going to be collegiate immediately, there's going to be a way to keep funneling pros in to keep the longevity of this esport. I think it's really, really smart. I think it's something that came second nature to a lot of other esports, but came too late. So like with League of Legends, collegiate didn't come until 4 or 5 years afterwards. And instead of Psyonix being like, okay, we have the prize pool, it's big, we're going to do this second. So, rip, what? Okay. But yeah, like, collegiate came afterwards for them, and we're doing that first. So it's like, okay, you create this foundation in schools and stuff, and people are ambitious at a young age, like Slothy, where he's, 12, 13, whatever, and has been and wants to play this his entire life. Like, you create that sentiment for a long time, and then when you get to that finally that stage of being 15 where you can compete, it's like, okay, this is so ingrained in you. Now I can go to school for it. And it's like, when you set that foundation early, like it really allows long term to happen. Like it's absolutely crazy. If you guys are having issues with stream, just hit refresh. So it's nuts. It really, really is. So for them to physically not only be like, yo, prize pool's a little bit bigger, we're bringing Oceania, they're like, all right, take a look at how awesome we are. We're telling you exactly, roughly more than, like, people are saying 2.5, but it's more than 2.5 million. And then they break it down. Not only are they like, we're funding $2.5 million into esports this year, stay tuned, it's going to be awesome. They're like, this is what we're going to do. More than $1 million in total prize pools, including the RLCS. That means that there is other prize pools coming. What could that mean? Could there be other tournaments? Could there be more community events? Could there be invitationals? Could there be lands all over the place? Oh, wait, they tell us that. Oh, shit, there's going to be more meaningful appearances as multiple major competitive gaming festivals. Fucking IEM, PAX, TwitchCon, PAX East is coming up. Are we going to see something there? I don't know. It's only a couple months away. Who the fuck knows? But who cares? It's going to be awesome. Like, they hype all this shit, and it's like, I've seen firsthand, I've been a part of what they do, and they don't half-ass it. And it's scary because it explains so much to why they've been as quiet as they've been, because they've been busting their ass. And I hope when it comes time for people to be like, yo, Cynix is being a little quiet, they haven't reached out to us, they're not talking much, I hope we go back to this moment and be like, yo, they're working on something big. Like, they're quiet for a reason. Something's going down. Like, but what is it? Like, what's happening to where they're not talking? Because normally they talk a lot. And when they do talk, it's crazy. And I really, really hope that people, like, just take a breather when it comes to it. I think it's going to be huge. So I agree to Renegades. The best teams win the tournaments, which is also the money. And I feel like if you're going to make a living at something, you should be good at it. So why should I just give you money because you're a pro team? I feel like if you deserve to win money and make a living out of this, you better be fucking good. And that's going to then incentivize all these kids to practice in scrim and actually dedicate their time to it. And I don't give a shit if you don't like streaming. You're going to start streaming because it's ways to make monetary. It's ways to grow a fan base. It's ways to give support to yourself other than just relying on winning tournaments. And I don't understand the mentality of, well, I don't like doing it because I'm sorry, I've done tons of jobs that I don't want to do just so I can pay rent and whatnot. Like, it's part of life. And for people to think that they don't have to work hard at something or do something they're not going to like, I'm sorry, but I don't think being a professional player is for you. Because there's going to be times when you have to practice 8 hours, 9 hours, 12 hours, 15 hours, and you're not going to like it, but you're still going to do it because it's the only way you're going to get better. Like, that's just how it is. Like, people really, really need to understand that you just got to fucking deal with it. Like, get over it and do it. And the people like Rizzo, Kronovi and stuff, the people that are even in the amateur scene, stuff like Dan Zizzle, who's been blown up. They did really well against Flipside as Super Hot Fire. Like, people like that who are streaming and putting in the work. Pyre's another one, CXX Flame if you don't know him. These guys have already created a foundation and a viewer base. People like myself as well. I'm on the smaller side by far. But, like, when all these viewers are like, yo, fucking RLCS was sick, and I really, really want to watch more Rocket League, what do I do? And all those viewers now influx into the community. They're already going to see the people at the top, and those people that are pulling 100, 200, 300 viewers are now going to pull 2, 3, 4,000. Those people like Kronovi that are pulling 3, 4, 5,000 are now going to be pulling like 10, 20,000. And it's going to completely snowball, and putting in that hard work and that dedication now only benefits you in the future. And I don't understand how some people can't have the foresight or just simply watch the old podcasts that we've done to understand how important it is to put in the hard work now so it pays off later. And as much as I want to blame like just not being aware of it or being playing the incompetent role of like, I didn't think about that because of age and stuff. You've been given the resources, and I hope that people will understand that people like Cloud Fuel, myself, the casters, like everybody in this community is willing to help out and offer advice. So please, I beg this community, bust your ass now because it's only going to pay dividends later. So rant over with that, but back to like this kind of stuff. So on-site events at major conventions, which is cool. So if they do a PAX and SSXW and stuff, they're going to have like actual events that are like, yo, here's a one-off tournament, here's like a quick get-together, here's things kind of like what E3 did, how Kronovia won like a BMW. Obviously I don't expect a fucking BMW to be given away every time, but like small tournaments like that if you're at PAX and you're like, yo, cool, Rocket League, let's compete, you can be interactive, you can talk with people. Hopefully I'll get to go to stuff like that. Like hopefully that shit exists, right? Funding for community events, which is awesome. So stuff like Rocket League Central, Gfinity, PRL, SPL, like all of those. Hey, Mona. All those events hopefully get more funding as well. Hopefully we see some official stuff. Hopefully an amateur scene. Maybe they're not going to do an amateur scene because they're going to do something with the collegiate. I don't know. Like all that kind of stuff should be really, really exciting. Community fund run tournaments as well. If you guys haven't seen it, if you do !MWL in the chat, it'll pull up Midwest land. It's going to be in Middleton, Wisconsin, which is just outside of Madison. So hopefully more community lands are existing. We're talking about there's one in Texas. We had one in Chicago. There's talks of like other places in the Midwest. There's going to be one in like Madison, like I just said. Like hopefully East, West, MWL, not MLW. There you go, Renegades. You got it. So for all that kind of stuff to happen, like it's going to keep blowing up, and I can't wait. I like seeing this as well. They talk about Oceania. I know South America, there was one of the biggest things that I saw on the subreddit was the love being reached out in comments on the subreddit as well as on the YouTube comments for the video about, wow, no love to South America. So clearly those guys are like begging for it, and I'm glad to see that they weren't ignored. So got a trial and error process first before we just give it up. So cool stuff there. Xbox getting some love. I know they've been ignored lately. There hasn't been enough tournaments. I think there's like one Gfinity tournament, maybe two. And at the same time, like for Xbox people, someone needs to organize Xbox events. Someone needs to be proactive. Someone needs to be ambitious with this. And if you're hearing me and you are an Xbox person and you want to do that, reach out to Cloudfuel. Anybody who wants to create tournaments, reach out to Cloudfuel. He will help you. He will give you a start. He will promote you with RLC. He's a fantastic person for this community. It is literally his job to make sure that stuff happens. So please reach out to him. Use him as a resource. The one I'm really excited for is a weekly talk show. There's going to be a weekly talk show before the RLCS. Hopefully, I don't know if it's live or not. I don't know the details to it. I don't know what it pertains, but it's going to cover all things RLCS. I personally am hoping it's covering like player profiles, stats, mechanics, like really, really in-depth stuff for the fucking nerds like me who really, really, really enjoy analysis. I absolutely love theory crafting about the game. I can sit and talk about like theories and play styles and stuff like that all day. And I really hope that this talk show is going to be that. I think it's going to be absolutely insane. I hope there's some cool skits that we get to do. Hopefully there's a little bit more banter and you guys get to see our personality rather than just on our streams a little bit. I don't know how that's going to work, but I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So you guys are ridiculous. Robust new esports hub on the Rocket League website. Big fan of that as well. That means that hopefully the website that you guys all ignore, RocketLeagueEsports.com, the one that we were using yesterday, hopefully this ends up getting expanded and there's like the teams, there's like their stats, there's all things that have to do with the players and like the profiles and everything is tracked on that website so people can access it easily. I hope it's an interactive like website. I think that'd be awesome. I hope they expand upon that. I can't wait. Sub goals drive me nuts that it's not working, so I'm just turning that off for now. Ongoing charity tournaments, RLXL, stuff for like Shaldis and everything. Super cool. Always good to give back. Always good to promote things that are important. So also Really, really cool stuff with that. And then numerous in-game esports features and enhancements. What can that mean? So there's going to be in-game features and enhancements for the esports. So we talked a while back on TTT how we wanted to see an esports tab where under it says like your garage, or where it says like the showcase or the showroom where the DLC cars are, there would be an esports tab. And if you click on that, I personally would love to see embedded player stats in an API that's automatically tracked from the RLCS. I would love to see a built-in web player so you guys can watch RLCS in-game client. I would like to see crate drops or something unique to people watching. I would like to see the ability to see roster changes and live updates. I would like to see top streamers, Rocket League streamers promoted in there during the times that we don't see the RLCS being live. I would love to see the talk show put in there. Anything that they can utilize for like viewership stuff and promotion, fantastic. I also agree with Death. I would love to see an in-game tournament function. I would love to see a team rank. I would love to see something awesome in the sense of an S rank for these players, something they've been begging for it. I do appreciate the ambition of the pro players going out and just making 6-mans where they basically go into a Discord. There's multiple lobbies. They basically sit in room 1 or 2 under a like in queue lobby, and then when there's 6 people, they all play a 3v3, and it's a good way to get high level gameplay. Kronovi streams it quite a bit, and they're fantastic. It's a good high quality practice for those guys. It still takes long because there's only so many players of that caliber, and they're not all going to be on at the same time. It's rough. So really, really, really good stuff. So I know, Puff, you asked about why no more NZXT, whatever. I don't know. NZXT and like Steel Series and whatnot and Mobile One have always been... So there's 2 different types of sponsors. There's sponsors of the actual event, the things where they're like, we want to buy this space for a sponsorship. So like when we have it's fucking game 3 and there's 2 minutes left and the little thingy slides out and says NZXT, Mobile One, blah, blah, blah. Those are sponsorships that you buy for a certain time period and a time slot rather than just saying, we want to be a part of this project. And I'm hoping that Old Spice is one that is a part of the project. They're here to stay, like Twitch. But I don't know. That's not my field. That's never going to be something that I get to know. I just know the sponsors that I have to promote and like suggest and all that kind of stuff if I'm told to. So kind of like that. Spectate RLCS matches on your own, kind of copying from other games at this point. Not sure how this could be possible. What do you mean, man? Like, there's nothing wrong with copying things that work, man. Plus, there's 200,000. I'm actually curious. How many people are on Rocket League right now? It is 4:30 on a Wednesday afternoon. Okay. It is 4:30. And I am curious to see where we are at when Rocket League boots. Rocket League, hello? All right. If we look at Rocket League, there is 153,000 people on. Thank you, not a dog. Right? 153,000 people on. And if I was to go here and just put a little section right in here that said esports, and I click on that, and only 10% watches, just from being in client, that's another 15,000 viewers. Why would you not do that? How is that a bad idea? Even if it is imitation or it's worked for others. Right? I don't see the problem with it. Why wouldn't you do that? It makes sense. It's free. It's easy to do. This is nice. A lot of people don't like this. This stuff at the bottom that you guys can't see because my overlay is in the way. The stuff at the bottom that rotates here. Also cool. but it's not dedicated. It doesn't show up in the same way, and it's like the whole showroom thing is phenomenal. It's organized. It's out of the way. It's not intrusive. It's super easy. I think they should do it. I think they really should. I think it'd be awesome.